The Lancers of Lawrence are led by head coach Mike Demeen. With a record of 2-3. The return to the season with a record of 0-4. They are led by head coach James Green. This contest team jumping on the guidelines of the Massachusetts Athletic Association. You, the spectators, aware.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from Beaudry Field, from the campus of Dracut High School, as the Dracut High School Middies take on the Lancers from Lawrence High School. Both teams are reeling a bit, as Dracut has a record of 0-5, and Lawrence has a record of 2-3, losing its last 3 games. Tonight is a very special night here at Beaudry Field, as the senior night, and the seniors will be honored from football, cheerleading, and band. And the band will be conducted at halftime. And they will be honored prior to the game for their time here at Dracut High School. And now we will send this over to Eric Tabor, who is the public address announcer, who is going to announce the seniors. Take it, Eric.
Please direct your attention to the end zone for tonight's senior night ceremony. Tonight, we celebrate the accomplishments of our senior cheerleaders, football players, band members, and their families. These students have dedicated countless hours working on routines, learning plays, and practicing notes. Their collective efforts have exemplified all of the qualities of a well-rounded student. And tonight, we recognize those efforts in front of our families, friends, teachers, and community. Congratulations to all of our seniors being celebrated tonight. We will start the evening by celebrating our senior cheerleaders and their families. Introducing first, Nichole Cloutier, escorted by Steve and Jean-Marie Cloutier. Next we have Kelsey Dungan, escorted by parents Leanne Gizak and John and Diane Dungan. And finally we have Devon Cormier, escorted by Doreen and Dennis Cormier. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2015 senior cheerleaders. We will now celebrate our senior football players and their families. First up, number 2, Captain Justin Gauthier, escorted by parents Kelly Gauthier and Jason Rivers and Roger Gauthier. Next up, we have number 1, Zack Burgoyne, escorted by Brian and Tracy Burgoyne. we have number 8, Troy Zwicker, escorted by Russ and Lee Zwicker. Next up, we have number 16, Jonathon Drossos, escorted by Gina and Mike DeLucia. Next up, we have number 18, Captain Stephen Lopez, escorted by Margarita Ojeda. Next up, we have number 21, Danny O'Connell, escorted by Dan and Kim O'Connell. Next up, we have number 25, Captain Kyle Maxim, escorted by Steve and Christine Maxim. Next up, we have number 26, Tim Morris, escorted by Sherry Bigelow and Chris Morris. Next up, we have number 28, Stephen Pelletier, escorted by Shane Pelletier and Tina Pinkham. Next up, we have number 56, Kyle Humphrey, escorted by Linda and John Humphrey, brother Keith. Next up, we have number 73, Devyn Davis, escorted by Kerry Davis and Chris Murphy. Next up, we have number 76, Brandon Ouellette, escorted by Peter and Dan Ouellette. And we have number 79, Josh Gonzalez, escorted by Cesar Gonzalez and Melanie St. Lottie.
Well, welcome back, everybody. The festivities are now being concluded, as you can see on your TV at home. The teams will come to midfield, and we will have a coin toss to determine, who will be receiving and who will be kicking off, what goal will be defending.
One more round of applause for your 2015 Dracut Middies senior football players and cheerleaders.
So as we get ready for the ball game, just some things I noticed as I was watching the teams warm up. Lawrence is a big team. Dracut's not nearly as big. So Dracut is going to have to do things, try to get the ball out to the edges, get away from the middle of the field, and then do its best. Shoot some gaps, taking these guys on head-to-head. I mean, for example, Lawrence has... I'm looking at their roster now. Lawrence's offensive tackle, his name's Jerry Giordano, and he's 6'5", he's 260 pounds, and he looks bigger than that. And so that kid's a monster. He's a big kid. They have size up and down the front. They have number 55, David Morales, who's another offensive tackle, 6 foot 235. Sean Santos, another offensive tackle, 6 foot 225. They have the defensive ends, again 6 feet 245, and his name is Stanley Alberto. So these kids, they're big. So Dracut is not nearly as big, and it's kind of been, the issue the team has had for a few years. I mean, you take the kids as you get them, and our kids the last few years haven't been as big as the teams they've been playing, but they've been sticking their nose in there and they've been playing hard. So that's what we'll look for tonight. So basically the offense Dracut runs, it's a spread formation, and what they look to do is matchups. The quarterback will scan. He'll either do a zone read handoff, which is his head will be up, and he'll be looking to see if there's anybody in the hole for the running back, or if his run option is there. So and it's a two-phase option where he either hands it off or keeps, or if in the passing game he'll just look out to the edges, because they'll spread 4 guys out, 2 in the slot, 2 spread out wide, and they'll look to see where the defensive backs are playing off them and try to get the ball out quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the center of the field for tonight's coin toss.
So now we have the coin toss as
Captains for the Lawrence Lancers,
Dracut Camp.
44, Kenny Richards.
Dracut Camp
Willie
captains,
Dwyer.
number 18, Stephen Lopez.
And number 55,
Number 10, Mike
David
Lavassier.
Morales.
Number 2, Justin Gauthier.
And for your
and number 25,
Number 2, Justin
Kyle
Gauthier.
Maxim.
Number 10, Michael Lavasser. Number 18, Stephen Lopez. And number 25, Kyle Maxim.
I'm sure some of these kids know each other from back from Pop Warner days, but hopefully this will be a tight battle. As I said earlier in the broadcast, Dracut, they're both hungry for a win. Dracut has lost 5 games in a row to start the season, and Lawrence has lost its last 3 games. And this is probably a pivotal game for Lawrence, as with the playoff format with the MIAA. Lawrence has won the toss and has elected to receive, and they will be kicking. Dracut will be kicking from left to right on your TV screen. So we'll be breaking for our national anthem at any moment now by the Dracut High Marching Band.
I'd like to remind all spectators to please not stand against the fence. All spectators should be in the stands, not against the fence.
As we get ready for our national anthem, the players are lining up on the 45, 50, and 45-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem by the Dracut High School Marching Band.
As we wait for our national anthem. Wonderful job by the Dracut High School Marching Band. And now we get ready for some football. Coach has a Dracut kickoff team at the 45-yard line, discussing where they're going to kick it, how they're going to cover it, and there's a whole strategy behind kickoff teams. Surprisingly, folks, is the kids have to run down in their lanes. They can't leave their lanes, or it raises a gaping hole which the return team can go through. So kicking off for Dracut will be number 31, David Choate. Back for Lawrence. Returning the kick is number 23, Daryl Munoz, and number 3, Angel Abreu. And the kick is away, and it's like a pooch. It's at the 45-yard line, 40, and there's a scrum for the ball.
Pooch kick to start.
And Lawrence has recovered. So Lawrence will have the ball on their own 33-yard line. Nice idea by Dracut. Looks like Dracut's coming out aggressive in this game. Dracut plays a 4-man front, 3 linebackers, 4 defensive backs. Lawrence comes out in a spread, twins left and right. Quarterback is Ismail Jackson. Jenkins takes the handoff, gives it to number 23. Daryl Munoz, and Munoz is off to the races at the 5. The goal line, touchdown Lawrence, first play of the game. Well, not the start we were looking for, ladies and gentlemen.
Daryl Munoz, all the way for a Lawrence touchdown.
67-yard touchdown for first possession. On for the extra point is number 1, Eddie Cabrera. Line set. Snap ball down. Kick is up. And the kick is good.
And it's good.
So with 10 minutes and 43 seconds, that play took roughly 10 seconds. Lawrence 7, Dracut High Middies, nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a high school website called Max Preps. I had the opportunity to go on that today, and there's highlight tapes of number 23, Daryl Munoz, for Lawrence. And he's had runs like that all season. Daryl is a junior. He also plays defensive back. He's 6 foot, 185 pounds. For high school purposes, he's a big running back, and he's shown some breakaway speed. So now Lawrence will be kicking off. Again, kicking off for Lawrence will be Eddie Cabrera, who just hit the extra point. Cabrera tees the ball up at the 40-yard line. Back for Dracut is number 31, David Choate. And the ball is dribbled down the sidelines. Picked up at the 10, 15, 20. There's a hole, makes a move. Goes to the 40. Down at the 45-yard line of Lawrence by number 30, Zack Burgoyne. Boy, that gets Dracut up, set up in good field position. Dracut takes over 1st and 10 at the Lawrence 43-yard line. Boy, the game isn't even 30 seconds old. We've had a run of 53 yards, and we've had a run of 67 yards. Looks like Cabrera, number 1, is hurt. As he's the one he kicked off, and he also chased down Blackmany. Crowley brings the offense out. He's in a pistol with number 1, Burgoyne, at running back. Official timeout.
Timeout on the field.
Timeout on the field. I believe the injury for number 1, and the number 1 Cabrera that's being checked out. Lawrence, number 1 Cabrera. He seems okay. He's coming back in. So Crowley's going to have the offense out. Looks like Burgoyne is the running back. They're in their customary spread formation in pistol. And when I say pistol, ladies and gentlemen, it means not quite as long as shotgun. Although the running back is 7 yards behind, so he's really in shotgun, but it's pistol formation. Handoff to Burgoyne up the middle, and he is stuffed by the defensive line of the Lawrence Lancers with a loss of a yard. So it will be second down and 12, maybe a loss of 2. Play gets sent in. Crowley again in pistol. We're going behind him as the lone back. Snap. Back to pass with Crowley. He fires long down the sidelines and just a little overthrown. Incomplete. He had him there, but it would have been like having to drop it into the bucket from that type of throw. It had to be more arched and coming down over the shoulder. So now we're into 3rd and 12 from the Lawrence 45-yard line. And that pass was intended for number 6, Michael Odiana. Okay, Dracut has a trips left. Shotgun. Back to pass, fires right, screen to the right. Complete. for a 5-yard gain down to the 40, so it will be a 4th down and about 7 yards to go for Dracut.
Gain of about 5. It'll bring up 4th and 7.
And that was a completion of Lackmany. It'll be a 4th and 7. Dracut flips the formation and looks like they are going to go trips right with Odiana to the left. Crowley and pistol, Burgoyne behind him. Lawrence is in a 4-man front, 3 linebackers. Crowley is flushed out of there. Running for the 1st down. And it looks like he's come up short as he goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line. He's roughly about 5 yards short.
Crowley on the keeper.
So the ball turns over to Lawrence. 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line.
1st and 10.
It appeared he could have went a little more for that, but he took it out of bounds. Okay, and here comes the Lawrence offense, led by number 15, Ismail Jenkins. Jenkins is in shotgun. Snap, hands off to number 3, Angel Abreu. And Angel gets a 7-yard gain out to the 43-yard line. 43 and a half, 44-yard line. So it'll be a 2nd down and a short 4.
It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
Jenkins brings the Lawrence offense out. Twins receivers each side. Ball is fumbled by Jenkins. He picks it up and actually gets a 2-yard gain.
Recovered by Lawrence.
So Jenkins gets a 2-yard gain out of that, and it'll be now 3rd and 2 from their own 45-yard line. So see if the Dracut defense can hang in there on this play. Jenkins brings them out. Abreu to his left, in shotgun. Snap, hands to Abreu, and he gets the 1st down. Pickup of about 3 yards for the 1st down. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Lawrence from their own 48-yard line.
Lawrence, 1st down.
Lawrence has a very odd way of huddling up. As you notice, the linemen, the 5 get together, and then the skill position people behind them are in their own separate grouping. So the other in twins with Abreu to his left, Jenkins in shotgun. Hand off to Abreu over the left side, breaks the tackle. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Touchdown for number 3, Angel Abreu. He's a junior. Not a big kid, 5'6", 145 pounds, with plenty of speed, and he showed it. Took the handoff on a zone read, broke to his left, and sprinted to the end zone. We broke 1 tackle, sprinted to the end zone. Again, Eddie Cabrera in for the extra point. Ball's down, kick is up. And it's good. Just kind of made it over the bar. I wonder if that injury on the last kickoff affected that kick, because it just kind of like plopped over the lower bar. And the score with 7 minutes and 25 seconds left in the first quarter is the Lawrence Lancers 14 and Dracut 0. So Cabrera is spotting the ball on his own 40 at the right hash, which he's allowed to do. Back deep for Dracut is number 31, David Choate, and number 30, Zach Lackmany. Last time, Lackmany took the ball at the 10-yard line and sprinted 53 yards down to the Lawrence 43-yard line where the drive stalled. Or kicks it deep. Lackmany has it at the 10, goes left, breaks to the outside and is taken down on the 20, I would say on the 18, 19-yard line. Lawrence kind of did a little better job that time than did the last kickoff.
Taken down and Dracut will take over. First and 10 from the 19.
So Dracut has their own ball on their own 18-yard line, 18 and 19-yard line. They come out with the play. Again, we have Crowley and shotgun. Burgoyne in the back. They have trips left. Snap. Back to passes. Crowley over the middle is complete.
Number 12, Crowley's pass.
That's complete to number 21, Danny O'Connell, for a gain of 7 yards. It was second down and 3. And Crowley in shotgun. Burgoyne behind him, 7 yards deep. Trips left, same formation. Crowley is a keeper up the middle, and he is stopped at the 25, 26-yard line to no gain, maybe a loss of a little. So now we have a third down and 4 for Dracut. Dracut flips their formation. They go trips right. Again, Burgoyne in shotgun or pistol. Snap, ball down. Quick throw to the middle to number 30, Lackmany. Lackmany gets away. And he is tackled on the 40-yard line. Zack Lackmany for a gain of, I would say, 17 yards. And he's tackled by number 23, Daryl Munoz, for a Dracut first down. Dracut comes out in the same formation. Crowley and pistol, Burgoyne behind him. Snap. Crowley keeps it over the left side, and he's got an opening. He cuts it up the field, and he is down at the Lawrence 43-yard line of a pickup of 14 yards. First down run for Crowley. And that is another Dracut first down. As Dracut rushes up to the line, they've got a little momentum now, folks. Crowley and pistol, but going to his 7 yards deep, 2 yards behind the quarterback. Now he's offset right. Snap, handoff to Burgoyne, going up the left side, and he cuts it up, still keeps his feet moving, and he's got a nice pickup of about 4.5 to 5 yards. So we have a second down and 5. There's definitely some momentum with this Dracut offense right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Second down.
With the same personnel grouping, same formation, it looks like, as they have trips to the left. And Michael Odiana to his right. Crowley and pistol. Snap. Crowley looking, and the ball is intercepted by number 12. Ronnie Pena. Pena is down to the Dracut 46-yard line.
Intercepted by number 12, Ronnie Pena.
Nice play by Pena. Looks like he read the quarterback's eyes
Around midfield.
and went to that location, the slant location.
Around the 47.
So Lawrence takes over first and 10 from the Dracut 47. Again, Jenkins brings him out in the same formation. He's in shotgun with Abreu to his left. Man in motion, jet sweep by number 5. Mickey Caban. Mickey gets down to the Dracut 40-yard line for an 8-yard gain. That's a similar play folks. When you watch the Patriots on Sunday, they usually run Julian Edelman. They call it the jet sweep, and that's exactly what they ran out of that formation was the jet sweep. Now Jenkins brings Lawrence out, Abreu to his left. Jenkins in shotgun. Snap, handoff to Abreu over the right side, and he is taken down at the 39-yard line, 40, maybe 40, and so now we have a third down and 2 yards to go.
Third and about 3.
Tackling that play by number 1, Zack Burgoyne. Lawrence comes out, same formation. Abreu to the right. Jet sweep left by Lawrence by number 6, Chris Duran. And Duran is off to the races, and he cuts it at the 5, in for the touchdown. Chris Duran, senior running back, 5'6", 155 pounds.
Off the left side for a Lawrence touchdown.
That's a 40-yard run, folks. If Dracut could avoid giving up the big play, they've had runs, I believe, of 67, 53, and now 40. So again, on for the extra point is number 1, Eddie Cabrera. Snap, ball down, kick is up and good enough, but there's a flag on the play.
And it's good. But there's a flag on the play.
Offsides, Dracut. It's refused by Lawrence. Kick is good.
Penalties decline. Kick is good. With 3:17 remaining in the first quarter.
3:17 remaining in the first quarter. Lawrence 21, Dracut 0. As Cabrera lines up gets ready to kick off. Back deep for Dracut is number 30, Zach Lackmany, and number 31, David Choate. .321 left in the first quarter, folks, as Lawrence prepares to kick off after this third touchdown. That was an unfortunate turnover in the last series by Dracut as they were picking up momentum on offense with a few first downs. Cabrera kicks the ball off, and it's fielded at the 10-yard line by Choate. Choate brings it up to the right side, and he's got a running lane, cuts it up to the middle, and he gets it up to his own 46-yard line. A 36-yard return puts Dracut in business. David Choate with a nice return.
Middies will take over 1st and 10 from the 47.
Dracut comes out in the same formation. No, they don't. They have a tight end in the game. Crowley hands off to Burgoyne. Burgoyne is taken down at the 46-yard line.
Run by number 1, Zack Burgoyne. Brought down for no gain. Second down.
No gain or a slight loss on the play. Second down and 10 and a half. Twins right and left. Crowley and pistol. Burgoyne behind him. Snap. Handoff to Burgoyne over the left side, and he goes nowhere. The entire defensive line of the Lawrence Lancers on the stop. So now we have a third down and 12 yards to go. That was another slight loss.
It'll be 3rd and 12 for Dracut.
3rd and 12. Crowley and pistol. Burgoyne to behind him. Snap. Oh, and that is looks like a legal procedure. There's some movement in the Dracut line, so now it will be 3rd and 17. So Dracut is in a trips formation, trips right. Probably back to pass. Looking at the rush. Rolls out to his right. Fires downfield, out of bounds, actually into the crowd. So didn't take a sack. So it's a 4th down and 17. Dracut from their own 40, and there'll be a punting situation. Snap back. Nice play by the punter. He gets the ball off. Fair catch. Oh.
Number 17, Jacob Enright on the punt.
There was a fair catch call by number 1, Cabrera. The ball bounced on the ground. Cabrera ended up picking the ball up, and he was tackled by a Dracut player, and they're going to call an interference call on the maybe a personal foul for a hit after a fair catch has been signaled. But they're talking about it. We have 1 minute and 36 seconds left in the first period with the score Lawrence 21 and Dracut 0. And that was the call, personal foul on Dracut.
Fair catch interference.
So that's the call, folks. And the ball will be marked 15 yards to the Lawrence 41-yard line, where they take possession. Jenkins in the backfield with Darryl Munoz to his right in Twins formation. As you can probably hear, the Dracut crowd's not too happy with that call. Lawrence is in a trips right. Jenkins in shotgun. Snap. Hand off to Munoz going right. Cuts it up, and he's tackled at the 40-yard line. Nice job by the Dracut defense. Coming up off the pile is number 76.
Run by Lawrence.
Brandon Ouellette. Nice play by Brandon. So it's 2nd and 10. And there Lawrence is in their funny huddling situation where the skill people huddle together and the linemen huddle together. We have a trips right formation. One to the left. Snap to Jenkins. Looking downfield from Pat. Fires long and deep. And is complete to the 5-yard line by number 5, Mickey Caban. Mickey Caban on the reception from Jenkins. Actually down on they have him down on the 7. 1st and goal for Lawrence.
Complete to number 5.
First and goal for Lawrence from the Dracut 7-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Lancers from the 12.
Oh, excuse me, 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Sorry, folks. Now they're in a power formation. Jenkins in pistol with a guard line to his left. The hands to number 23, Munoz, and he goes down to the 2-yard line. It'll be the second and goal, 2nd and 1. Oh, he's actually down to the 4. So he's down to the 3-yard line. 2nd down and 1 to go. Again, that power formation, give to Munoz over the left side. He cuts it up. No, it's kept by Jenkins, and he goes in for the touchdown. At the end of the first quarter,
Jenkins with the keeper.
as the quarter ends, as he goes into the end zone, they'll kick the extra point from this part of the field, and they'll switch up when they kick off. So Lawrence lines up for another extra point. Cabrera is the kick. Kick is up, and the kick is no good. It's off to the right. Cabrera kind of just punched at it and went off to the right.
We end the first quarter.
And this is the end of the first quarter with the score. Lawrence 27 and Dracut nothing.
0.
And folks, there's somebody hurt on the field for Dracut being attended to by the training staff. We can't see a number from here. We just hope the young man's okay. What a tough first half for Dracut, as they gave up, say, 4 big plays, leading to 4 touchdowns. 3 of them were long runs in for the touchdown. One was a long pass down to the 12-yard line. Hurt on the play was Danny O'Connell, and he seems to be jogging off the field, seems to be okay. So Lawrence will kick off from left to right on your TV screen, with number 1 Cabrera kicking off to number 30, Zach Lackmany, and number 31, David Choate. Cabrera set to kick off. Approaches the ball and kind of squibs it down the middle of the field, and that's picked up.
Number 31, David Choate.
Picked up by number 31, David Choate, and he brings the ball from the 10 all the way up to the 35-yard line, a 25-yard return.
First and 10.
That's been the best offense of the night, folks, for the Dracut High Middies has been their kickoff return team. They've been outstanding, getting them good field position. Dracut has not been stuck in their own territory. They've had good field position, and they've been able to use everything they've wanted to use on their offense. Official coming to the field for another ball. Whoa. Anybody deflating footballs out here? I don't know. We should check this out. Maybe we can get Roger Goodell involved. Oh, that's the Lawrence kicking ball they're sending over to the other side of the field. Okay, we got that straightened away. Drake comes out in a power formation with too tight. Snap by Crowley. Give.
Number 10, Michael
It's
Lavasser
a 10, Michael Lavasser, who gets a 5-yard gain out to the 40-yard line.
It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Middies.
Drake is searching right now, folks. They're looking for some offense, and where they're going to get it, they'll search their whole playbook. Snap to Crowley, hands up to Lavasser again over the right side, cuts it back, and he's stormed up at the 40-yard line by a host of Lawrence Lancers.
Lavasser runs up the middle, stopped at the line for no gain. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Middies from the 40-yard line.
So Dracut goes back to their spread formation in the 3rd and 5 situation, with Twins receivers right and left. Crowley and Pistol going behind him. They just switched. They just switched up the receivers. They brought the wide receiver in and the slot guy out on him and flanking him to his right. Crowley in shotgun takes a snap, looks downfield, being rushed off to his left, and he is sacked. And he's brought down on his own 30-yard line, and that would be by number 55.
Number 55, David Morales.
David Morales. And there's a flag on the play. Looks like holding on Dracut. Declined by Lawrence. Now we have a 4th down and 15 yards. Dracut goes back into punting formation. 4th and 15 for Dracut. Timeout on the official. Snap. Kick is away. Bounces at the 50, goes out to the 40, and it's surrounded by Dracut and touched at the 35-yard line by Burgoyne. Jacob Enright on the punt. No return. Lawrence takes over 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line. And the score is 27-0 at this time, Lawrence, with 9:23 left in the second quarter. Lawrence comes out in their typical spread formation as the linemen break their own huddle, something I haven't seen before, folks. But to each his own. Jenkins is in pistol with Abreu behind him. Now he moves off to his left. Now he goes to shotgun. Snap, handoff to Abreu over to the right side, and he drives out for 5 yards to the 41-yard line, almost 6-yard gain.
Lawrence run by number 3. Stopped by a gang of Middies tacklers after a gain of about 6.
Stopped by the center of the Dracut High School defense. Lawrence comes out in formation. Same formation, twins right and left. Abreu behind Jenkins, who's in shotgun. Snap. Abreu hands the ball off on a draw action to number 3, Abreu, and he is brought down. He's brought down with a nice hit by Zack Burgoyne.
After a short gain.
So we have a 3rd down and 3rd and 1 for Lawrence. I'd like to see a run gap blitz defense right now for Dracut, because I think they just have to not worry about what happens. Get in those, fire through those gaps, and see if they can stop them for a loss. So we have trips left, single receiver right, hand the ball to Abreu, and he is stood up over at the 46-yard line, and he has enough for the 1st down.
Run by number 3, second effort, enough for another Lawrence 1st down.
So Lawrence, looks like they're satisfied to just start to grind out some 1st downs and start running the clock a little bit. Lawrence comes out, same formation, twins right and left. Jenkins in shotgun, fires out to the right to flank a screen. Complete to Cabrera, coming up the left sideline. Turns on the speed, and he is in for the touchdown. There's a flag on the play, though, folks. Maybe coming back for pass interference.
Pass to number 1.
Looks like offensive pass interference.
There's a flag on the play.
A holding on Lawrence. And so that whole play comes back.
Block in the back on Lawrence, just coming back.
So we have a 1st and 20 for Lawrence on their own 37-yard line.
After the 10-yard penalty, Lawrence will take over 1st and 20.
So Lawrence comes out in the same formation. They have twins, right and left. They have Jenkins in shotgun with Munoz to his left. Same play to the other side, and Dracut snuffed that out pretty well.
Short pass to the right side.
The pass was complete, to number 4, Lewis Crispin.
Tackle on the play.
Tackled by and then played by number 21, Danny O'Connell.
It'll be 2nd and 17 for the Lancers.
So we have a 2nd down and 17 for Lawrence on their own 40-yard line. Jenkins in shotgun. Munoz to his right. Trips right. Pass is complete to number 5, Mickey Caban,
Pass complete to
for
number 5.
for a 2-yard
Hit
gain.
immediately by a gang of Middies tacklers.
So we have a 3rd down.
Bring up 3rd and long.
We have a 3rd and 13 from Lawrence, and a 3rd and 13 from their own 44 and a half yard line. Lawrence comes out, twins receivers right and left. Munoz, Jenkins in shotgun, Munoz to his left. Munoz actually stepping up. Rolling right. Fires downfield to number 4. Lewis Crispin. Lewis got behind the Dracut defensive backfield, but was overthrown by Jenkins. So now we have a 4th down for Lawrence and their first punt of the game. Back for Dracut will be number 30, Zach Lackmany. Punting is number 1, Cabrera. Oh, and it's a fake. And he fires it for a 1st down down to Munoz. He makes a move at the 30, cuts it back upfield, and goes in for a Lawrence touchdown.
Big punt pass complete to number 23. Ran in for a Lawrence touchdown.
They had Dracut completely fooled on that play. And the score with 5:27 left in the first half is Lawrence 33 and Dracut 0, pending the kick of the extra point. Folks, I've been with the extra point. The ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So now the score 34 is 0. Folks, you had a 27-point lead,
And with 5:27 remaining in
and
the
you
second
decide
quarter,
to do that, to go for
Lawrence 34.
a 4th down conversion like that, to try for that. You complete it going for the touchdown. It seems to me they're trying to rub salt in the wounds of Dracut High School. I don't know if there's any feelings between these two coaching staffs, but it's just something that if you're the Dracut High players who are coming back next year, and you're the Dracut High coaching staff, you put that in your file cabinet and you file that away for future reference. What Dracut has to do after that is Dracut has to just keep playing, forget about that, and keep playing the game hard. I know there's been, over the years, problems between these two teams when they played, and I'm wondering if that was an outgrowth of that. Cabrera back to kick off. I wonder if they're going to do an onside kick now. Let's see. Oh, they do kick off. And that's return, a nice return again by number 31, David Choate.
Return by number 31, David Choate.
That's a nice return. Dracut's has had good field position the whole game. Let's see if they can put one in the end zone.
Dracut will take over 1st and 10.
Dracut comes out with Crowley and shotgun or pistol. Really the same formation right now. They're looking in for their play. They have a set right of formation where they pulled out their guard and their tackle, and they pitch back the other way. The Burgoyne comes up to. What they did, they pulled the whole Lawrence defense to the left by setting up an offensive line almost past the hash marks, and they pitched it right where there was no one out there.
Run up the right side for a Dracut first down.
And that run was good for, and that was by number 2, folks, Zack Gauthier, Justin Gauthier, and that was a nice 12-yard gain out to midfield. So hopefully Dracut gets something going here and answers that last play that Lawrence did. Dracut's in the same formation that they have set up, and I'm sure the guard and center, the guard and tackle are out there along with the tight end. And they run the ball inside.
Run up the middle.
For no gain.
No gain on the play. Second down.
As Dracut stays in this formation, I'm not sure what they call it. Like Crowley tried to run an option the other way, and he comes back left, and he's trapped, and he is pulled down and pulled out of bounds, and horse collared by number 45.
Crowley on the keeper, taken down, but there's a flag on the play.
And number 45, Jarrell Felez.
Personal foul, horse collar, tackle.
And that's a personal foul. They'll mark off 15, and it'll be a first down for Dracut.
That'll be a Dracut first down.
I'm not sure, folks, if that's a spot foul or is that from the original line of scrimmage. It looks like they're marking it off from the original line of scrimmage. So Dracut's first down is from the Lawrence 36-yard line.
It'll be first and 10 for the Middies after the penalty. From the 36.
And this is unusual. Dracut lines up their whole offensive line to the left. Looks like there's some confusion here. Something they've been working on this week. There was nobody over the ball to snap it.
Timeout, Dracut.
Timeout, Dracut. Looks like they're trying to confuse Lawrence with different formations on who's eligible, who's not eligible. Again, I guess we've been watching too much Patriot football. If you remember the playoffs last year with the who was eligible, who wasn't, had Baltimore all confused, and now they're in the formation where they have a snapper. Now that snapper is an eligible receiver since it's the end of the line, and there's a legal procedure on Dracut. So they'll go back 5 yards.
Ball start, offense.
I've never seen that formation before, but it's pretty interesting because the center is eligible to go out for a pass. He's the end of the line. Snap, back to pass. It probably fires to the right, and it is incomplete.
Crowley's pass, incomplete.
So now we're going to have a second down and 15 to go. Dracut goes back into the normal formation, kind of. As Crowley looks in for the call, we have twins right and left. We have number 2, Justin Gauthier, lined up to the right of Crowley, goes back to pass, fires out to the right, it's complete. And going down the right sideline for a Dracut touchdown.
Number 2, Justin Gauthier, run for a Dracut touchdown.
If I had the number to give you folks, I would. These Dracut numbers are very difficult to see at night. But that is a 40-yard touchdown pass from Thomas Crowley. And I'll have that information on who is receiving. As Dracut goes for 2, snap to Crowley, looks to his right, fires, and the conversion is no good. So as we come upfield with 3:28 remaining in the first half, Lawrence leads 34 to Dracut 6.
48 remaining in the first quarter, second quarter. Lawrence 34, Dracut 6.
Who got that pass? And that touchdown pass was again to his number 2, Justin Gauthier. It's very difficult to see the numbers. Again, that touchdown was to number 2, Jason Gauthier, 40-yard touchdown strike from Thomas Crowley with 3 minutes and 28 seconds left in the first half. The score is Lawrence Lancers 34 and the Dracut High Middies 6. Well, that was a nice answer. That was an important answer. Regardless of the score right now, they had to answer that Lawrence touchdown. Dracut pooches again and picked up by number 2 on the run. And that is Juan Gonzalez. We'll do some pretty good straight arms out there. So Lawrence has the ball with 3:21. They'll take over 1st and 10 and they were ready for it that time. As you saw, they had almost 8-9 guys in that area. As Lawrence breaks their huddle, they have a trips formation to the left. Abreu in the backfield with Jenkins. And number 4, Lewis Crispin's fit right. And the give is to Abreu over the right side. And he is taken down at midfield by almost the entire Dracut defense. Dracut's got a little B under his bonnet here. Let's hope so.
Gang of Middies tacklers for a short gain.
We have a gain of 2. We have 2nd down and 8 from midfield with 3 minutes left in the first half. Jenkins brings the play in from the sidelines. The linemen line up by themselves, and the backs go together. So Jenkins is in shotgun with Abreu to his right. Trips formation to the left. Snap, Dracut is blitzing. They had a run blitz, and Lawrence just beat it. Abreu goes, depending on where the spot will go, took the handoff, went past the group of Dracut blitzing defenders, and lucky that play is only a 10-yard gain, because once Abreu got past the first wave of Dracut defenders, then he could have been off to the races. So I think we have a second or third. It would be third and about an inch. 3rd and inches. Again, Jenkins is in shotgun. Abreu is to his right. Trips formation right. Snap to Jenkins. Pitches out to Abreu, and he cuts it up, and he is taken down at the 40, but not until he gets a first down. So Lawrence with the first down at the Dracut 41-yard line with 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in the first half, and now they're running a clock again. And stay with us, folks, at halftime as the Dracut Marching Band will be performing for your listening pleasure. And there goes the Dracut High, the Lawrence High line all by themselves without their running backs and their quarterback and their receivers. Jenkins is in shotgun. Munoz goes out to his right, and it looks like they're setting up some type of option with Jenkins, but he is brought down. It looks like they were setting up a play where he would come right and pitch the ball out to Munoz, who kind of bellied out to the right side. But that play didn't work, and so now we have a 2nd and about 17 for Lawrence, with the clock ticking down. With the clock ticking down to 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the first half, and Lawrence is in no rush to come to the line of scrimmage. Okay, twin receivers right and left for Lawrence. We have Munoz, and we have a timeout being called, and that timeout is by Lawrence. I don't know what the rules here in the MIAA. I think they get five timeouts a half, which is way too much.
Timeout, Lawrence.
I know that when I was coaching a team in New Hampshire and we would come down and come into Massachusetts to play some games, they told us we had 5 timeouts, and I was like, wow, okay. It's just something we weren't used to. We played with 12-minute quarters, and they play 11 in Mass, and we played with 3 timeouts, which is kind of standard, except for the MIAA. So the score is Lawrence takes timeout, and they strategize this 2nd and 16 play. When they come to the sidelines, a lineman comes with the quarterback because they have their own huddles. I know I'll stop delaying that point, folks. I just don't understand it. But that's okay. Okay, we have Jenkins and pistol. We have Abreu behind him. Twin receivers right and left. And the ball is fumbled. And we're on the ground, and Jenkins has it back. And that is a loss of about 6 yards, so it would be 3rd down and about 21, 22 yards to go with the clock ticking. Now maybe Dracut calls timeout here. Looks like they'll be getting the ball back. Well, Dracut's not calling timeout, so the clock's probably just going to. Lawrence will won one more play, and that'll be the end of the half. They're probably could be throwing this one deep. Jenkins is going to throw a screen to the right, and that is incomplete. Dracut should get on that ball. They call it incomplete. It is incomplete. Okay, we have 4th down at about 22 yards to go with 11 seconds to go. So what does Dracut? Does Dracut go to block this punt? Does Lawrence go for it again? Does somebody cover 23? Well, let's see. And the snap to Cabrera. And it looks like he is going to punt. And he punts it down to the 20, and Zach Lackman lets it roll, and as the quarter ends. So at halftime, the end of the first half with the score, the Lawrence Lancers 34 and the Dracut High School Middies 6.
34. Your Dracut Middies 6.
Please stay with us for halftime, folks, as the Dracut High Band will come out and entertain the folks here at Bouldry Field and those of you watching at home. Again, to recap the first half, it was a half of big plays by the Lawrence Lancers of over 50 yards, where they scored multiple touchdowns, and 2 plays. Number 23 of Lawrence, and his name is Daryl Munoz, had 2 plays of over 50 yards, 1 a pass reception, 1 running. So he had over 110 yards of offense on 2 plays. It was not a bad per play average. And as we wait for the Dracut High Band, as they start setting up right now for their performance for the home crowd, they will come in. Oh, look at the guys up at the roof, braving the elements. There you guys go. Don't hurt yourself up there. And introducing the Dracut High School Marching Band.
Please welcome to the field your Dracut High School Marching Band.
Enjoy the halftime, folks. Enjoy the halftime performance. And we'll see you at the start of the third quarter.
Game on. The staff includes Assistant Band Director Color guard director Chelsea Reese. Percussion tech Dave Grant. Visual writer Justin Mitnick. Drum majors Allison Wright and John Urell. Color guard captains Allison Zarofsky, Madison Truckier. Soloists Jillian Noble, Andrew Collins, Matt Daniel, Chase Slattery, John Urell, Madison Sadis, and Linda Dixon. Joining the high school band this evening, we have the Richardson Middle School Band. We would like to welcome them as well. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for your Dracut High School Marching Band.
Welcome back, folks. Now, as you know, as we mentioned before the game, it is senior night, and our public address announcer, Eric Tabor, will be handling the introductions of the seniors of the band. So there you go. Take it, Eric.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to recognize our Dracut Middies senior band members. First, Jillian Noble, escorted by Irene and Jay Noble. Next up, we have Maria Rondo, escorted by Dave and Deb Rondo. Next up, we have Adam Martin, escorted by Rick and April Martin. Next up, we have Renee Turcott, escorted by Vicky and Dean Turcott. Next up, we have Allison Zarofsky, escorted by Dawn Zarofsky. Next up, we have Jocelyn Frechette, escorted by Jean and Michael Frechette. Next up, we have Colin Canoyer, escorted by Carol Canoyer. Next up, we have Madison Tripnier, escorted by Beck and Paul Tripnier. Next up, we have Lucas Spicer, escorted by Brian and Sandy Spicer. Next up, we have Alexa Atta, escorted by Esperanza and Tony Atta. Next up, we have Kiana Lupti, escorted by Renee Hallahan and TJ Lupti. Next up, we have Trevor Sullivan, escorted by Ron Sullivan and Michelle Scola. Next up, we have Paul Veris, escorted by Alice Veris and Lisa Georgiopoulos. Next up, we have Joey Raymond, escorted by Kelly and Brian Raymond. Next up, we have Andrew Collins, escorted by Tracy and Sean Collins. Next up, we have Sam Spence, escorted by Amy Spence. Next up, we have Jennifer Martin, escorted by Julia and Michael Martin. Next up, we have Allison Wright, escorted by Linda Wright. Next up, we have John Urell, escorted by Jen Urell. Next up, we have Noah White, escorted by Stephen Lucas. Next up, we have Kaylee Cody, escorted by guard mom Jen Lawrence. Next up, we have Madison Zadis, escorted by Shannon Nolan and Matthew Zadis. Next up, we have Caitlin Petros, escorted by Lucia Petros and Richard Petros. Next up, we have Linda Dixon, escorted by Ernest Dixon. Next up, we have Chase Slattery, escorted by Kerry and Chip Slattery. Next up, we have Rena Cano, escorted by John Cano. And next up, we have Maria Forte, escorted by Ed and Elise Forte. Ladies and gentlemen, one more big round of applause for your 2015 Dracut Middies Senior Marching Band! welcome back after halftime, your Dracut Middies.
Welcome back, folks, as we come back for the third quarter of this MIAA contest between the Dracut High Middies and the Lawrence Lancers. Currently, the score is Lawrence 34, Dracut 6. Festivities for senior night have now been completed. Our seniors have been honored, as they should be, and as we get down to playing the rest of this football game. Dracut will get the ball to begin the second half as they kicked off to open the game, and see if they can put a drive together and put one in the end zone and start creeping, knocking this deficit down. I hope they all warmed up good because of senior night festivities. It took a little extra longer to begin the third quarter, so I hope the kids got in stretching and stuff like that because it's starting to get cold out here. Definitely the hawk is in the air tonight, and it's actually perfect football weather.
Start the third quarter, Middies will receive.
Again, Cabrera, who's been kicking off all night, it seems, has put the ball on the middle of the field on the 40. Now he has been kicking off all night from one of the hash marks, so he has changed up. Maybe because of the good returns Dracut has had all night. Cabrera cuts the ball, kicks the ball off. It comes down to the 10-yard line, picked up by
number 31, David
by
Choate
number 31, David Choate, and the ball comes out to the 25-yard line. Still
stopped at about the 25.
Good enough field position where Dracut can run their entire offensive playbook if they so choose. Now Dracut had a little extra longer, as Lawrence did, for halftime. So we'll see if there's any halftime adjustments. Which it's adjustments come basically. You refine your game plan. You stay with your same game plan because you've put that in all week. But now you find out what's worked and what hasn't, and see if you can stay with what's worked. Dracut comes out with trips right. Crowley takes a snap, pitches to Burgoyne. Burgoyne goes down and comes to the 25-yard line with basically no gain.
Toss to the right side to number 2, Justin Gauthier.
Excuse me, that is Justin Gauthier. Of no gain, so it'll be a second down, and there's loss of 1 yard. 2nd and 11 from the 24-yard line. Dracut again in trips right to the short side of the field. Crowley and Chuck and Justin Gauthier behind him in like a tailback position. Snap, handoff inside to Gauthier, and he fights out to about the 25-yard line for a gain of about 1 or 2, so it will be 3rd and long for Dracut.
Handoff to Gauthier, stop at the line. 3rd and 10 for Dracut.
Crowley looking in for the play. We're going offset left. Gauthier offset left. Back to pass. Fires down the right sidelines, and it is incomplete. Incomplete to number 6.
Crowley's pass.
Michael O'Donnell.
Incomplete. Intended for Odiana.
Michael Odiana. So now we have a 4th and 10 from the 25, and Dracut will be going back in punt formation. Back to receive the punt for Lawrence is number 1, Eddie Cabrera, who's kind of a jack of all trades. Kicks extra points, is a wide receiver on the offense, handles kicks on special teams, kicks off, punts. Maybe Lawrence is going for a block. No, they're not. And the ball is kicked, and it's a fair catch by Cabrera. And he fair catches it at Dracut's 47-yard line where they will start their offense.
Down to the 48, Lawrence will take over, 1st and 10.
as the officials take the kicking ball out of the game and give it to the Dracut High bench. So Lawrence comes out, Jenkins at quarterback, Abreu to his left. Almost, it looks like almost kind of a trip formation, you could call it that. They come with a jet sweep to number 5, Mickey Caban, and he is taken down in the backfield
Run to the right side. Stop with a big hit
by number 7, Ty Malo.
Malo.
Ty Malo made a nice play. He read it. They read the jet sweep and put Lawrence back a little bit, so it will be a second down and
Loss
15.
of 5 on the play. Second and 15.
It'll be a loss of
coming
5
up
on the
for
play.
Lancers.
Nice play by Malo. Thank you. Lawrence comes out, spread formation. Jenkins takes a snap, looks downfield, fires inside, and it is incomplete. Intended
Pass by number 15
for number
over the
4,
middle,
Lewis Crispin.
It'll bring up 3rd and long for Lawrence.
So it's a 3rd down and 15 for Lawrence from their own 48-yard line. Jenkins goes to the coaches, the sidelines for the discuss the play. Abreu comes out. Into the game is Munoz, number 23. This kid has had like maybe 4 or 5 touches for over 150 yards today, it seems. He ran the first play from scrimmage in from 60-something yards, 63 yards away, then took that fake punt play at the end of the half, near the end of the half for another touchdown. He goes in motion right, creating a trips. Jenkins is back to pass, and he is sacked.
Drop back to the pass. Sacked in the backfield by number 10, Michael Lavasser.
Brought down by number 10, Michael Lavasser. Lavasser has been a concern for Lawrence all night. It seems like he's unblocked most of the night. That's because he has a nose for the ball and he goes for it. So now we have a 4th down. We have a 4th and 20. Let me look at the scoreboard. 25. Let's see if Lawrence fakes this one. As they have Munoz lined up as the far person to the right. Cabrera punts, and that's a boomer. Nice kick. Fair catch. And fumbled but recovered for Dracut. The Dracut has the ball on their own 25-yard line where they start scrimmage. Nice opening series on defense for Dracut.
Punt down by Dracut.
They stopped Lawrence
Middies will take over
on that jet sweep for a loss of 5. Incomplete pass, and then Jenkins was sacked by number 10, Michael Lavasser.
I'd like to announce tonight's winning 50-50 raffle ticket. It's a red ticket, number 495445. Again, the last 3 numbers.
Well, I didn't win.
5.
I've never won one of those. So Dracut comes out on offense, and they're in their twin set formation. Crowley rolls to his right, almost in an option formation, pitches the ball, and that's a loss.
Crowley tosses to Choate.
Dracut tried to run a little option play there that when they ended up tackled for a loss of 6 yards. So Dracut back to the drawing board. It is now, and the pitch was to Justin Gauthier. So Dracut is in twin formation. Crowley in pistol. Gauthier behind him. Snap. Back to pass. Holds the ball. Moves over to his right. It's being chased down. And throws the ball out of bounds.
Pass by Crowley. Incomplete.
Incomplete by Crowley. Crowley made a smart play as he was about to be sacked by number 47 on Lawrence, Jamie Simo, and threw the ball away and didn't back up any further. So now we have a 3rd and about a 16 for Dracut on their own 19-yard line. Crowley and pistol. Back to pass. Fires down the middle, and that is intercepted by number 12, Ronnie Pena. That's the 2nd interception of the game as he goes down the right sideline and gets driven out of bounds at the Dracut
intercepted
10-yard line.
12, Ronnie Pena. And run back pushed out of bounds.
Pena's playing center field as a safety. He's just staying back. He's reading the quarterback, and he goes and he's reading the quarterback's eyes. And when the quarterback commits, he moves to that side of the field. He did the same. He did the same thing on the other interception where he read the quarterback and he got the interception. Now we have a 1st and goal for Lawrence at the Dracut 10-yard line with 6:54 left in the first half. Power formation. Snap, given to Abreu over the right side, and he goes down to the. I'm waiting for the
Handoff up the middle.
I'm waiting to see the spot of the ball down to about the 1-yard line.
Stopped after a gain of 9.
Almost 9-yard gain. So we have a 2nd and goal from the Dracut 1-yard line. On these power formations, what Lawrence does is they bring number 55 in as a type of a fullback, and that is David Morales. So he lines up as a fullback. Jenkins stays in pistol with Abreu behind him, or they'll bring in Munoz. And now we have a timeout, Lawrence. One of their 5 first downs and one of their 5 timeouts in the first half. So Lawrence in that power formation with number 55, David Morales in the backfield. And they give us to Morales, throwing a lineman a bone. But he stopped short. No, he stopped at about the 1-yard line for a no gain on the play. So now Lawrence is a 3rd and 1. Munoz's usual position, he's an offensive tackle, playing in the backfield now. Jenkins in shotgun. Snap, give it to Abreu over the right side, and he is in for the Lawrence touchdown.
Run up the middle by number 3. Into the end zone for a Lawrence touchdown.
Number 3, Angel Abreu. In for the touchdown. As we coming out to try the extra point is number 40, Benjamin DeJesus. Eddie Cabrera might be a little tired. He's done a lot of kicking tonight. Hold by number 5, Mickey Caban. And Lawrence better use a timeout here because there we go. Snap, ball down, kick is up, and the kick is good with a flag.
Kick is up, and it's good.
Probably could be a legal substitution by Lawrence. Offside on Dracut. The penalty is declined, so the score with 5:50 left in the third quarter is Lawrence 41,
and with
Dracut High School 0.
Your score, Lawrence 41, Dracut 6.
No, excuse me, Dracut 6. I'm sorry. 41-6. So Lawrence will be kicking off the Dracut with a 41-6 score halfway through the third quarter. So back for Dracut is number 30, Zach Lackmany, and number 31, David Choate. Cabrera back to do the kickoff. Checking to his right, left, and he approaches the ball and kicks off. Down to about the 9-yard line with Choate with the ball looking to come upfield, cuts upfield and makes a lot out of nothing really. Gets the ball out to the 25-yard line where Dracut can begin their offense.
Before he stopped, and the Middies will take over, 1st and 10.
First and 10 Dracut on their own 25-yard line. And the score is 41-6 with 5:42 left in the third quarter. Dracut comes out with trips right. I think they better call timeout. I think they had too many people on the field. As Dracut does call timeout. As Coach Rivers discusses what they're going to do on this possession, I'd like to remind you that our next broadcast will be on Thanksgiving at home against the Methuen Rangers, where I will be joined by the Methuen crew. As always, for the past few years we've been doing it. And I'm not sure what Methuen's record is right now, but they could be. They may be playoff bound. So, but our next broadcast will be on Thanksgiving morning here at Beaudry Field. Snap to Crowley, hands off inside to number 2, Justin Gauthier, for a gain of about 4 yards.
Run up the middle by number 2, Justin Gauthier. Gain of about 4 on the play. 2nd and 6 for the Middies.
Crowley in shotgun, or in pistol. I'm going to call it shotgun, folks, the rest of the night. In shotgun, we're going to his left, right, read option. Gives it to Gauthier, who gets out over the 6-yard gain over the 25, the 35-yard line to the 37 for a first down. Dracut.
Run again by Gauthier. Good for a Dracut first down.
Dracut comes out with trips. Trips right. Crowley in shotgun. Gauthier to his left. Hand the ball off to Gauthier, going over the right. Oh no, Crowley keeps it, goes down the right. Nice
Crowley
fake as he faked us out here up in the booth for a nice 20-yard gain down to the Lawrence 45-yard.
Enough for a Dracut first down.
Dracut stays in that same formation. Trips right. Single receiver left. Crowley looking in for the play. The rest of the players are all looking to the coach in the sidelines. Gauthier in the backfield. Now Gauthier edges right. Snap to Crowley. Little swing screen out to the left. And number 25,
Crowley's pass.
Kyle Maxim, is slammed
Intended for number 25, Kyle Maxim.
by number 2, Juan Gonzalez. Juan came up and as we used to say in the old days, laid the lumber to him. Nice hit. Came in with the shoulder, didn't lead with the crown of the head. Nice play. So now it's 2nd down and 10 for Dracut. Snap to Crowley, and he's going to keep it up to the left side, and he is taken down for a 2-yard gain at the Lawrence 43-yard line. So now we have a 3rd and 8 for Dracut.
Short gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 9 for Dracut.
Dracut's back. Dracut is lined up. Play is in. Burgoyne is offset right. Oh, excuse me, Gauthier is offset right. Crowley back to pass. Rolls out, flushed out, rolls out to his right, looks down the field, and in and out of the hands.
Crowley's pass
is incomplete.
to the right side. Intended for number 25.
Pass intended for number 25, Kyle Maxim. I think on that play, Carl was starting to run before he caught the ball, which happens at all levels with wide receivers. They're wide open. The ball hits them right in the hands, and they start running before they catch it. So now Dracut is a 4th and 9 on Lawrence's 43. Back to pass again is Crowley, and he is taken down on a on a blitz by number 21, Ariel Cruz.
Dropped in the backfield.
I think Cruz creeped in and came in on a corner blitz.
Lawrence will take over on downs.
Lawrence takes over on down and has a 1st and 10 at midfield. As we're coming to close to the end of the third quarter with 3 minutes and 33 seconds to go, it's the Lawrence Lancers 41 and the Dracut High Middies 6. Okay, folks, let's see Dracut play some defense here. Lawrence comes out in their customary formation. They're missing a player. So quarterbacking is number 12, Ronnie Pena. In motion, jet sweep. Oh, and they run into each other and taken down. Running the ball is number 22, Dylan Montanez.
Tackling after a short gain by number 8, Troy Zwicker.
A gain about 1. Tackle by number 8, Troy Zwicker. It'll be 2nd down and 9 at the for Lawrence on Dracut's 49-yard line. So we have a quarterback. We have Ronnie Pena with number 22, Montanez next to him, and the handoff is to number 28, Chris Colon. Oh, check that, Sebastian Rosado.
It'll be 3rd and 6.
So Rosado has a 4-yard gain down to the 46-yard line, and as we have a 3rd down and 6 yards to go for Lawrence. Lawrence comes out, and at quarterback again is number 12, Ronnie Pena, with number 28, Sebastian Rosado to his left, and we have a timeout Dracut. We may have an injury timeout. Someone's hold. Step to Pena, and he's taken down for a loss by number 8, Troy Zwicker.
Taken down in the backfield by number 8, Troy Zwicker.
Troy, you can count that as a sack. Calculate the quarterback for a loss, and Lawrence is coming in punt formation. Now we saw them do punt formation earlier in the game, and let's see if they decide to kick the ball this time. So Dracut will get the ball with under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Cabrera is in to kick. Snap, punt, and it's rolling down at the 28-yard line where Dracut will take over. So with a minute and 21 seconds left in the third quarter, the score is Lawrence 41 and Dracut 6, and Dracut will start their offense at their own 28-yard line. All right, Dracut is out on offense. We have Tom Crowley with a trips formation right. Throws out to the right, complete to Lavasser. Oh, he gets it, and he trips over number 2, Juan Gonzalez on the tackle. And the pass is complete for about a 4-yard gain.
Gain of about 5. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Crowley takes a snap, looks downfield, has plenty of time, fires over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Crowley's pass over the middle Incomplete, intended for number 10, Labassa.
So now it's 3rd down and about 5. Dracut will do trips to the wide side of the field left. Crowley and Pistol. Snap. Hands the ball off inside. To number 1, Zack Burgoyne. So now we have and Burgoyne runs it out for a first down. So Dracut has a first down at their own 40-yard line with 20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Again, the same formation to this side, to the short side of the field. Trips with Crowley and shotgun. Snap. Crowley keeps it to the right and slides down for a 4-yard gain. Now, as the quarter runs out with 4, 3, 2, 1.
It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Middies.
Okay, we're at the end of the 3rd quarter. At the end of the 3rd quarter, folks, we have the Lawrence Lancers 41 and the Dracut Middies 6.
Run takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter. The score after 3, Lawrence 41, Dracut 6.
So as the officials flip the field and move the chains, Dracut has a 2nd down and about 6 yards to go for a first down. Dracut has continued to play hard throughout this game. But I think we're overwhelmed a little bit by the size of the Lawrence of the Lawrence Lancers. They're big. I went down in the field before the game, folks, and watched both teams warm up. And Lawrence is a big team. They have a big offensive line, and it's very difficult to match sometimes when you don't have that size. And that's where the Dracut offense, the type of offense they run, helps them out because it goes more toward matchups rather than bulk. So again, they run the same formation with trips right to the short side of the field. The hand is to number 1, Zack Burgoyne, and Zack is tackled for a loss back to the 42-yard line. So now it's going to be a 3rd down for Dracut and about 8. So Dracut runs a trips formation left, single receiver to the right. As the boys look at their play sheet for what was being called from the sideline, but going to the offset right, Crowley back to pass, a blitzer coming up. Dracut throws a screen to Burgoyne up the middle. He cuts it back and he runs to the first down. Nice play call. Lawrence sent number 24. Anthony Martinez on a blitz. Dracut line kind of moved aside. Thought he got in there nice and clean. Crowley flipped the ball to Burgoyne, who ran the ball for a first down with some tough running. And so now Dracut will flip the field again with trips right. Again, Burgoyne and Crowley in the backfield. Crowley will probably be set up in shotgun with Burgoyne offset right or left. I would think he'd be offset or behind him or offset right. He's behind him. Snap to Crowley, looks to his right. Looking downfield, tucks it up, starts running. And is tackled at the 42-yard line of Lawrence.
Gain of about 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Middies.
Gain of 5 yards, or gain of 6, closer to 6. 2nd and 4 for Dracut at the Lawrence 42-yard line. Coach calls the play in. Dracut is in that trips formation left, single receiver right. Zack Burgoyne in the backfield behind, in a tailback position behind Crowley in shotgun. And Burgoyne goes in motion right. Crowley is flushed out of the pocket, goes right, and is turning up the field. And he's down at the 30, and he's out of bounds at the 22-yard line.
Nice. All the way to the 22 for another Dracut first down.
Nice gain for Crowley. What ended up happening on that play, folks, is that Lawrence was in a man-to-man defense, and the Dracut receivers ran them all off. So once he broke from the initial rush, there was plenty of field to go. Nice gain. Again, Dracut trips in trips formation. Crowley in pistol. Hand off to Burgoyne over the right side, and he's busted it up, and he's churning down to about the 11-yard line, 10-yard line as Dracut moves that pile for another first down. It might be first and goal from Dracut from the Lawrence 10-yard line. Nice hard running by number 1, Zack Burgoyne. Dracut gets the play in from the bench, from the sidelines. Trips left, same formation. Again, Crowley keeps it, cuts it up, and he is down at the 1 foot line. I see where the official is placing his foot, and it's probably second and goal from about the 6-inch line. This is where I would love to see Dracut. I'm not saying as a coach I would love to see Dracut come in and be able to go under center and go into a power formation that way, because now they're starting this play at the 5-yard line. They're right over, and Crowley goes straight up the middle, and he is in for the touchdown. And with 7 minutes and 37 seconds left in the game, Dracut has scored his second touchdown, and now trails Lawrence 41-6 as they set up to kick the extra point. 41-12, excuse me. Number 9, Dimitri Vieira, and the kick is up, and the kick is good.
The kick is up, and it's good.
And with 7 minutes and 37 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Lawrence 41, Dracut High 13. Nice drive by Dracut. Nice drive by Tommy Crowley. Seemed to put the team on his shoulders on that drive. That was a nice drive. But I think the next time Dracut goes in a pass formation, Lawrence may think about going into that man-to-man defense. I think they'll go more into a zone, and those runs don't usually happen in a zone. But that was a great run. Once he broke contain, once Lawrence lost contain in the backfield when they were rushing him, he had that whole sideline open, and he was smart enough to recognize it and not try to force the ball downfield that he didn't have. So now Dracut is kicking off. And kicking off for Dracut, if I can get that number, I believe is number 17, Jacob Enright. No, kicking off, I'm sorry, is number 30, Zach Lackmany. And another little pooch kid taken by number 2, Juan Gonzalez, and he is tackled and swallowed up by the Dracut kick coverage team.
Kick returned by Lawrence.
And Lawrence will have the ball on the 38-yard line.
With 7:31 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Okay, here comes Lawrence, number 12, Ronnie Pena at quarterback. Offset left is number 28, Sebastian Rosello. Give us Rosello, and he is taken down, and he gets away, and he is finally tackled
Left side.
for basically no gain.
And
there's a flag on the play. Personal foul, and that's a face mask on Dracut. So we'll be marking off. We'll be coming down to the Dracut 45-yard line after that is marked off. And Lawrence will have a first down and 1st and 10 from Dracut's 45-yard line. So first and 10 for Lawrence at the Dracut 45-yard line. And the Lawrence offensive line goes out there all by themselves, waiting for their partners in the backfield, and out comes Out comes Ronnie Pena with number 28, Sebastian Rosado. To his left, twins each side. Snap to Rosado, and he sweeps it left. Pena sweeps it left, excuse me, and he gets a short gain of maybe no gain. So that will be
a short gain. It'll be second down.
That's going to be a 2nd and 10, no gain. It should be noted here that Lawrence has taken out their starting quarterback, Ismail Jenkins. They've taken out their running backs, Abreu, number 3, and number 23, Daryl Munoz. So they're playing their younger kids. Pena in shotgun. Rosado to his right. In motion, jet sweep, handoff, and that goes for no gain. Tackled by number 10, Mike Lavasser, and number 71, Andrew Damaris. So now we have a 3rd and 9 for Lawrence on the Dracut 44-yard line. And that carry was by number 48, Jose Cid. As we can see, Lawrence, I wish the guys upstairs could get them in their separate huddles, something I've never seen, which I continually find funny the whole game. I guess it's just my sense of humor. But number 12, Ronnie Pena, is in shotgun. Rosado's to his right. 13 in motion. Fake the handoff. Counter play to 28. Rosado, and he gets an 8-yard gain on 3rd down. A 7-yard gain down to the Dracut 38-yard line. So now we're going to have a 4th down and 4. And Lawrence comes to the sideline to get their play. And as you see, number 12, Ronnie Pena comes for their. As you can now, I'm looking at the TV now, folks, and there we have their double huddle, and then they send 2 people to the sideline for the play. So in they come, number 52, Oscar Abreu, and number 12, Pena, come in, and they talk to their individual groups. It's something I've never seen before, and it's just the way it is, I guess. I'm going to stop harping on it. I'm just laughing. I just finds funny. Snap is to Pena, gives to Rosado, and he is tackled on 4th down, and Dracut will get the ball on downs. And he is tackled by number 10, Mike Lavasser.
And the Middies will take over on downs.
Dracut takes over on downs with the score.
Dracut will take
41,
over 1st and 10.
Lawrence, 13, Dracut, with 4 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game. Snap to Crowley, hands the ball to number 31, David Choate.
Handoff off the left side to Choate.
And Choate goes all the way down to the
big gain across midfield, enough for a Dracut 1st down.
Choate goes across the field and is finally tackled at the Dracut 42. About a 15-yard pickup. Crowley in shotgun, snap. Hands the ball off to Choate. No, keeps it himself. Goes up the left side and goes out of bounds.
Crowley on the keeper.
At the 34-yard line, which is a gain of 13 yards for a 1st down.
Gain of 11 for another Dracut 1st down.
Dracut has a 1st down on Lawrence's 28-yard line with 4 minutes to go in the game, trailing 41-13. Crowley in shotgun, Choate to his left, trips left, snap to Crowley, throws to the left to Lavasser, and he fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by Dracut.
Pass to Lavasser.
Recovered by number 79, Josh Gonzalez. Josh was alert. Josh is the right tackle, and he recovered that on the left side of the field, hustling with 4 minutes left in the game to help. Great play by Josh. That's something the coaches should highlight when they go to film. Crowley keeps, goes to his left, and he is taken out of bounds.
Crowley with the keeper.
By number 9, Eduardo Alvarado. And so now we have a third down. 3rd and 7. I'm watching how the sticks are placed to see where we are. So we're 3rd and 7 from Dracut's 26-yard line. We have a trips right, almost a quad formation as Choate lines up to the right of and they throw back to Choate on a screen pass, and it looks like where the official is spotted, they're down to the 20-yard line. They'll be short by a yard for the first down, and I'm sure they'll go for it. So it'll be 4th and a yard.
It'll be 4th and 1.
We have 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in the game as Dracut is driving the ball late in the game. The 4th down play comes in. They're in trips right with Choate as set up as a tailback formation. In pistol, Crowley hands the ball to Choate, and he gets away from the first tackler, and he gets a first down.
Spins off a tackle to the left side.
That was a wonderful play by Choate, because he was stopped short, and they would have turned the ball over on downs, and now they have a first down. Nice run by David Choate, number 31. Crowley looking in for the play. They're in twins formation with Crowley in pistol and Choate in the tailback position. Snap to Crowley, looking down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete.
Crowley's pass over the middle. Incomplete.
So Dracut is a 2nd and 10 from Lawrence's 16-yard line. Crowley looking in for the play. All the kids are looking in for the play. They're in a twin set formation. No, they're actually in a twins left. Crowley back to pass, being rushed, flushed out of the pocket, and he's brought down at the 30-yard line for a big loss of about 12 yards. So Dracut will have a 2nd down. Will be a 3rd and 20 from Lawrence's 28-yard line. Crowley gives the ball to Choate, and he gets 8 or 9 of those yards back, and he gets the ball down
Handoff to the left side.
To the 23-yard line. So it will be a 4th and, I'm going to say a 4th and 16 to go for Dracut.
It'll be 4th and 18 for the Middies.
But now we're hitting a minute left in the game. Wide right slot. Crowley back to pass, looking down the field, goes to the end zone, and it is, it is caught. It is caught for a touchdown by number 6, Michael Odiana.
Number 6, Michael Odiana.
What a nice play. Michael went up, caught the ball, kept it, brought it to his body, and kept it before he was knocked out of bounds in the end zone. So that's a Dracut touchdown.
To Odiana on the 23-yard touchdown.
With 47 seconds left in the game, the score now is Lawrence 47 seconds left in the game. Lawrence 41, Dracut 19. In to kick the extra point is number 9, Dimitri Vieira. Dracut in for the extra point. And snap, ball down, kick is up, and the kick is good.
And it's good.
I don't see any penalty flags on. There seems to be a little movement, but with 47 seconds left, we'll take it.
The Dracut touchdown, your score, Lawrence 41,
So with 47 seconds left in the game, Dracut High scored a touchdown, and the score now is Lawrence 41, Dracut 20. Now Dracut will kick to Lawrence. This has been a clean game between these two teams, which we've had issues in the past, but we're okay tonight so far. We've had maybe one personal foul, and that was a face mask, which was in the tackling. Sometimes you grab a shirt and you miss, and you grab the face mask. Those things happen. So Dracut kicking off. Ball is pooched and is down. Downing the ball for Lawrence is number 10, Lenny Pham. So we have 45 seconds left in the game, and Lawrence will take the ball 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. 39, 40-yard line. Well, before this game's over, we'd like to thank you for tuning in and enjoying this football game between Dracut and Lawrence. And again, remind you that our next broadcast for Dracut High football will be, next scheduled broadcast will be on Thanksgiving against Methuen, renewing that old rivalry. And a knee is down, clock is running. It doesn't look like Dracut is going to stop it, so we'll have 2 more plays. We'll have one more play, one more snap of the ball. And it will go to number 12, Ronnie Pena. (2019-18). And that'll be it. The final score here from Beaudry Field on the campus of Dracut High School is Lawrence 41 and Dracut 20. And thank you, and join us for our next broadcast. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'd like to have one more.